We're back. The Lamborghini. They call him that for a reason. He is fast. He's already there with Ryan Leslie and Scott Oak. It's great to see you, Ryan Lomberg. Happy New Year to the three. Over to you for After Hours.
Thank you, Ron. Yes, every team needs energy, and the Flames draw a lot of theirs from the Lamborghini. By the way, where did that start?
You know, it was actually in the minor league. Morgan Klimchuk, shout out Klimmer, was the one who originally gave me the Lamborghini nickname.
Okay, well, it makes perfect sense because when you think about it, the great ones are all known by one name. There's LeBron, there's Mario, there's Wayne, and if around here you say the Lamborghini to anybody, they know that you're talking about Ryan Lomberg. And so when we're finished with you tonight, you will be in the Hall of Fame. Ryan Leslie, where do you want to start?
Well, why don't we just start, Ryan, with just a game thought, because it looked as though you guys threw a lot at him. I mean, the first period was certainly yours. You run into a hot... Is it as simple as just running into a hot goalie tonight, or was there more to this one?
Yeah, you know, I think obviously special teams, they beat us in the special team battle. Like you said, we came out of the gates flying. Yeah. It was probably a good first period as we played all season long. They obviously got a couple power play goals there and kind of took the air out of our sails, and that's just on us. We got to find a way to respond a little bit better, and definitely disappointed losing that one tonight.
Okay, Ryan, we already have the answer to one of the most often asked questions, but we'll have Captain Ron ask it anyway. Did you think about appearing on After Hours without a shirt?
Yes, I did. For sure, I did, yeah. It was a thought that came to mind. We'll see. We got, what have we got left on the clock here? It might come off at some point here.
Well, look, we want to thank you for dressing up for the occasion because you have been known not to. No shirt, no service did not apply to Flames TV earlier this season, and my guess is that you went shirtless pretty much from June 24th when Florida clinched the Stanley Cup to, well, who knows, and I would guess as well that a few of your teammates dared you to go shirtless tonight. But look, Ryan, you are a professional athlete and your livelihood depends on your health. Did you not consider the possibility of injury when you decided to body surf at the Panthers celebration of the Cup?
It's a funny story. So we were down in Miami partying it up at 11 there after we had won, and Chucky was the one who kind of told me to go do it, and I'm not the type of guy to have to ask somebody to ask me twice. So I said, hell yeah. Started crowd surfing. It was epic, something I'll never forget. And then at the parade, once again, he said you should go do it again. And again, I don't need to be asked twice to do something like that. So it was best time of my life.
Ryan, the expression "always a bridesmaid" comes to mind here.
Well, you did dress up for an impromptu. I don't know how impromptu it was, but it was during COVID. The Kirklands, Madison and Justin Kirkland's wedding. You wore a couple of hats that day. In that you were a photographer, ring bearer. There you are in the background. Maybe take us through a bit of that story.
Yeah, so that was right when COVID happened. I was back in town because I was recovering from an ankle injury. I had surgery, so I was staying in town recovering, and Kirky and his now wife were in town. They were in no rush to get back, so they ended up tying the knot there, and I was the only one in town, and had Kirky over the night before, and we were having a few drinks, and he had mentioned it, and I think the next morning they were hoping that I forgot about it, and I texted right when I woke up. I said, "What time are you gonna pick me up?" And his now wife didn't know at the time, and she probably was a little bit mad at him at the time, but it was something I'll never forget. It's just it's amazing to have him around now, and the both of them, and to know that I was his best man and her maid of honor is something we'll be able to hold on to for a while.
You are a man of many talents, Ryan. All right, Game 7, Stanley Cup Final, Edmonton at Florida, and Ryan Lomberg to his teammates as they prepare to take the ice.
Hey, we live together forever after this one. Forever. Together forever after this one. Sure,
we live together forever after this one, boys. Where did that come from?
Yeah, it was just kind of organic. It just came to mind. Obviously after you accomplish something like that, you're sewn together in the history books forever. Our names are side by side on that cup forever. So it just one of those things. I know my role on that team was to make sure the guys were loose and feeling good, and there was no tension. So it was just about being positive and making sure we know what we're playing for.
So Florida wins, and then that moment in time, we have a picture of it here. Ryan Lomberg Lomberg becomes Stanley Cup champion. You must have this picture framed and hanging somewhere in your house.
Yeah, we got a few of them. Yeah.
Okay. So 7 days after the Game 7 win, you signed with the Flames. So you had to say goodbye to Panthers fans who loved the Lamborghini. I'll leave it to you to read just the first few lines of the message you posted on Instagram.
Yeah. We are the champions. What a run it was. Came to Florida 4 years ago trying to become a full-time NHL player, and now I'm leaving a Stanley Cup champion.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's you know, the people of Florida you know, mean a lot to me. It's where I became a husband. It's where I became a father. You know, a lot of us is in Florida, and you know, obviously we accomplished everything we dreamt of doing, and it's just nothing but, you know, the most positive feelings and emotions come to mind when I look back at my time there.
And it remained for you then to receive your Stanley Cup ring, which you did in a magical week, Ryan.
What a week it was here early December this month, or rather, just last month when you have your 30th. You then welcome your third child, that's Larson Love, to go along with Roman and Lennon. And then, just for good measure, you cap it all off with some Stanley Cup hardware.
What's up, big dog? How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
What's up, champ?
What's up, brother? How you doing, Mr. Canada?
Good to see you, bud. How you doing, big boy?
How you doing, superstar?
You're a beauty.
Hey.
That's your first look at it, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
On the pinky finger, too. I love that. That's confidence.
All right, so this is your second go-round with the Flames. In your first that lasted 5 years, you could not crack the Calgary lineup, and now you are a fan favorite, and as fan favorites go, there aren't many around the league who have the favor of fans like you do. Ryan?
Well, yeah, I mean, everywhere you go, it just seems you're out in the community. You are in local rinks. You were just at the Circle K hockey tournament here in Calgary. But also, I think it's probably because not only are you personable, but you play the type of game that I think a lot of people love, including the physical side of it. Doesn't matter how tall you are, how big you are, you welcome all comers. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. It's something I pride myself on is standing up for my teammates. You know, no matter who's on the other side. Just go back to my childhood. I was always, you know, obviously undersized and always one of the smaller guys on the ice. So it just kind of comes to the territory. And, you know, I wish guys were more my size that are willing to fight, but it's usually the bigger guys. So, you know, it just is what it is. I love to do it. And just about the community, the people of Calgary have been so amazing to my family and I. Ever since we got here this summer, we've been blown away by how amazing the community's been. And we're incredibly lucky to be back in Calgary. You know, extremely thankful to have this opportunity, and you know, we're going to make the most of it.
Can you explain that bond, that two-way bond between Calgary and yourself? How do you view it? Yeah,
it's great. You know, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Right when we came back, I just had a sense of being at home. You know, I'm not exactly sure what it is. Obviously, the people have a lot to do with it, but it's just a sense of being home somewhere where I feel like I belong. And you know, all the Calgarians are extremely hardworking, you know, extremely neighborly and friendly, and that's kind of like how I like to think of myself too. So it definitely feels like we're at home here.
Well, let's get the fans back in here. Darcy Hume asks, hey, Lombo, longtime fan, first-time caller, does the flow come naturally, or do you douse your luscious locks with premium synthetic 5W40 motor oil to achieve peak performance?
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's all natural. It's all natural. Every once in a while I joke around and ask for some WD-40 to throw in there just to grease it up before warmies, but no, it's all natural, baby.
Look at us asking.
Yeah, well, we're staying out of the
This is
conversation.
adorable.
I only asked the question. Right? Okay, the New Year's Eve game here against Vancouver, 2 fights, and you almost had 3, and you gave your team a spark in what was probably its most emotional win of the season. If you're looking for a summary of what you bring to the Calgary Flames, Ryan Huska, your head coach, may have said it best post-game.
Full-on energy, and when a guy's willing to drop the gloves a couple times in the night, you don't see that anymore, you know. So he is a special player for us for a lot of different reasons, as we know. The energy that he brings, he's always positive. He makes people around him feel really good, and he'll do anything for a teammate. So he did really well done on his part as well.
The compliments keep on coming. How's the show going for you so far? You like it?
Yeah, it's going great. Keep them coming, boys.
Helmet won't fit.
You're talking about the body, the hair, doing whatever it takes.
Another thing we know about you, you're not afraid to punch above your weight class, Ryan.
Yeah, if you could, maybe take us back to Columbus. That was an emotional night. And, you know, this is a big boy in Olivier. And full marks to you. But, I mean, this is another example of just what the coach said, willing to do it.
Yeah, you know, there's usually that list of a few guys that I'll say I won't fight unless, you know, they run my teammate from behind or something. And he just so happened to run my teammate from behind. So, you know, it was time to step up. And, you know, the guys obviously loved it and respected me for it. And as did he. You know, like you said, he's one of the toughest guys in the league, if not the toughest. So, yeah, you know, I don't go into a game looking to fight guys like that, but obviously when you need to, you know, I'm definitely that type of guy that will do what he has to for his teammates.
Kevin Bieksa sent this text to me during the game tonight. He said, I never comment on Instagram posts, but I felt strongly about this. Fighting a guy where he knows he's probably going to lose to defend a teammate is the most admirable display of toughness you can show in hockey to me. How about that for a compliment?
Yeah, that means a ton. You know, obviously a lot of people don't really know what it's like to willingly go up to a guy and ask him to fight when you know chances are you're probably going to lose. Like, I don't know if in that fight I caught him pretty clean right on the chin, and he didn't really move too much. So yeah, it like I said, I don't go into a game like that think I'm going to fight him, but you know, when something happens and something needs to be addressed, then, you know, like I said, after the game, we go down swinging for one another, and that's what we're trying to build here, and you know, I'll be the first guy to lead by example. Question
from Dirk: how did you become friends with Brooks Koepka, and how many shots did he give you on the golf course?
Yeah, Brooks, he's a beauty. He ended up, so he was a big Florida fan. He grew up around South Florida. He was always go to games and stuff like that, and he got my jersey one night, and I just so happened to mix it up and get in a fight at the end of the game. And he came in the locker room, or the weight room, excuse me, after the game, and was asking for me, and all the boys came running in. They're like, how do you know Brooks? How do you know Brooks? And I'm like, who the heck doesn't know Brooks? And they're like, no, he's asking for you. He wants to see us. Right away, I throw all my clothes on, run out, meet him and his buddies, and we were just, yeah, we just kind of connected right away, him and his buddies. He's, you know, obviously this ultra famous superstar golf player, but he really is just a great dude. Him and his buddies are amazing. He's just a normal dude who just so happens to be exceptional at golf.
Well, and a major fan of yours. Senna asks, how do you like blocking NHL shots with beer league shoulder pads?
Yeah, they hurt more than they would if I were wearing proper shoulder pads. But it's a funny story with that. My old-time teammate, Keith Yandel, actually would wear them for practice just because they were super loose and he'd feel good. And wearing them in practice and all that stuff, and I'm like, wow, those are nice. You think I can get a pair of them? So they went in the back and gave me a pair. And the next game, I got in a fight, and the guy couldn't hold me because my shoulder pads pretty much came right off with his first grab. So they've been a staple ever since. But I've eaten a couple of blocks with those, and it's essentially like you're not wearing anything. So.
Okay, a large part of bringing energy on a nightly basis is being vocal, and you are from the outset, including the anthems, both of which you belt out. Why?
You know, it's just habit now. So my son Roman is obsessed with both the American national anthem and the Canadian national anthem. So he's singing them. You know, I don't even know how many times a day, maybe 20 times a day he rips through. He likes for us to announce him now, like they announced the singer at the start of the game. Oh yeah, he'll wait for me to announce him and then stand on the table and belt it out. And then
sings in French too, right?
Yeah, he does in French too. And then he'll march off how they march off after they sing. So it's just kind of habit now. I mean, obviously I've gotten caught a few times on camera now singing like I was in the shower, but it's just it just you know, comes naturally now.
So I know it's got something to do with your affection for the military, and that takes us to Ottawa when you were still with the Florida Panthers, and Kyle Bukauskas filed this in-game report.
Well, every night here at the Canadian Tire Center, they honor a former member, a retired member of the Canadian military. Tonight, there is retired Robert Lamoureux, who is the maternal grandfather of Ryan Lomberg of the Panthers. And look at him up, banging the board, celebrating. Lamoureux lives in nearby Cornwall. The grandparents actively watched Lomberg and the Panthers run to the Stanley Cup final last spring, and get to watch his grandson in person here tonight, Joe.
That's special for you and your grandfather.
Yeah, that was amazing. It's tough to put into words. You know, so thankful for what he's done, and just like I said, it's tough to put into words how much that meant for him and my family.
The Field of Crosses here in Calgary, every November, 3,500 crosses are erected in a park on Memorial Drive as a tribute to the Southern Albertans who made the ultimate sacrifice. Tell us about your visit there.
Yeah, it was pretty exceptional. You know, just being able to walk around and you know, see all the men and women who gave their lives for this country, and you know, the people that live in it. You know, I often think about you know, they don't get the recognition that they deserve, and so yeah, I just try to go out of my way and make sure that I do what I can to make sure they feel appreciated. Here's a really touching moment from your visit to the Field of Crosses.
Today's squadron leader, we're remembering you.
Thank you very much. That's very true.
So what do you know about that squadron leader?
Yeah, so squadron leader Ian Bazalgette, or Bazalgette, I don't want to do him a disservice by saying his name wrong. Yeah, like a lot of those men and women, it was a tremendous story. He had 2 wounded, you know, fellow people with him, and they were
in his bomber.
In the bomber, and it was, you know, shot up, going down, and he had the option to pull the parachute and, you know, live to fight another day, so to speak. And he elected to try and land the plane, you know, and get his comrades some help, and unfortunately they all ended up passing away. But obviously, you know, an exceptional story of trying to get your men or women home safe.
He was 25 and he got the Victoria Cross for that exceptional act of bravery. Have you ever thought about what you were doing at the age of 25 weighed against what he was doing at the age of 25 fighting for our freedom? Yeah, it's, you know, it's why I try to carry myself the way I do. I'm so thankful for this life that, you know, unfortunately people had laid their lives down to give us this opportunity. So really that's why I always have a smile on my face. I'm always thinking about how lucky and fortunate we are to be doing what we're doing here, alive, breathing, instead of being, you know, like those men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice to, you know, provide this life for Canadians. Exactly. All right, to family, Ryan.
Well, we see it as recently just the other day. We had Roman in the locker room there, and I know that's just so important to you. As we mentioned, the family continues to grow. I think you got to get Larson in the next one, but just the importance of having your family out here as you've moved back to Calgary. The family continues to grow. There's Roman inside the locker room. What does that mean to him, the anthem singer that he is?
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. This is one of the things that you want to take his shirt off there. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Yeah, it's one of those things I never really, my dream was always to play in the NHL, of course, and I never really thought about the possibility of doing it while having, you know, a young family and having them around. And you know, earlier on in my career, you see guys who bring their kids around and how amazing of an experience it is for them. So to be able to do it now, you know, it means the world to me. You know, again, we're incredibly lucky to be living this life and to have them a part of it and around as much as possible. It really is tough to put into words how meaningful it is.
Love that you appreciate it. Liam O'Brien, here we are back to hair care products, but you and Liam O'Brien have a couple of things in common, and we'll start with the look. I loved you guys in Game of Thrones, but I also thought that it was neat. He told me that you guys were teammates in Pee Wee. You were his captain.
Yeah, the big.
Of course, you asked him to fight the other day.
Well, we go back. It's funny every time we play each other now. We give each other a little look and a smirk. Just, you know, we both know how far we've come. It was, yeah. Looking back, I believe his family moved over from Nova Scotia or one of those maritime provinces and moved over, and you know, he was kind of the. You know, obviously a lot more skilled back then, like all us fourth liners were, but still, you know, the big body, big personality. So it's awesome to see him, you know, in this league and having success.
This may be the final question. We talked a lot about the fourth line energy and how you bring it, but we should not forget that most NHL players have been at one time or another the best players on their teams. You were twice a 50-goal scorer, I think once with the Mississauga Reps and another time with the Hill Academy. Is there a goal scorer trapped inside that fourth line body.
Yeah, I like to think so. You know, my teammates, they encourage me all the time and tell me how much skill I have and that I'm capable of making plays and all this stuff. And it's just one of those things where, you know, in my role for this team, we're here to win. You know, it's not really about me getting, you know, an extra goal or extra point here and there. Of course, that would be amazing. But, you know, my job is to make sure I put myself and my teammates in a position to win. So that's being as mature as I can on the ice, you know, never cheating the game, never cheating my teammates, making sure I'm doing all the right things, and I'm leading by example that way.
Perfect. And that's where we'll end it. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. Appreciate it. There's Ryan Lomberg winning the hearts of Calgary Flames fans as the Lamborghini back to Scotiabank Saddledome to conclude proceedings in a moment.